Gold Rush Week 2 is here with two massive NXT Championship matches on the line, but could it live up to the heights that we expect here on Full Wrestling? Wrestling's dead, but you know what? What can NXT deliver today, guys? Because we kicked off with a title match, and I think this was probably the best way of going around it. Of course, we had the NXT Women's title match. Of course, we've got Vic Joseph and Booker T. And we have Thea Hale taking on Tiffany Stratton. You know what? It's a decent match, and I'm officially feeling my age because I'm 22, right? And Thea Hale's 19. What's that all about? Well, that's no right. Someone 19 like having a title match on Raw or on NXT and WWE TV. It's mad, like, but it is what it is. And you know what? They both absolutely get it between Thea Hale and Tiffany Stratton. But the problem here is you've got Drew Gulak and Charlie Dempsey just ruin everything for us because they've cost Thea Hale here. First of all, they're holding the rope, which distracts the ref. Then she has Tiffany Stratton actually tapping out, but the ref is distracted. Then Tiffany Stratton wins with a roll up. After the match, we then see Tiffany Stratton leave. Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak start beating up Duke Hudson. And then who do we have, guys? None other than the return of the big man, Andre Chase comes out, lays the SmackDown, and what can I say? This guy is brilliant. I love Andrew Chase. Or maybe I'm over exaggerating there a wee bit, but I think he just adds so much to NXT. Like, he's consistently when he's there. Of course, he hasn't been there in a while. But he comes out, he saves Duke. So we've got Duke, Chase, and Thea Hale all celebrating in the ring. We then cut to a hype package about Aja Dragunov. So, don't know what I mean. Is this guy getting called up? Who really knows? We see Wolfgang and Mark Coffey walking backstage. They haven't heard for Joe Coffey, but guess what, guys? We will hear for Joe Coffey later on tonight, but they also want to extract some revenge on Stacks. But then we have NXT tag titles on the line here between Idris Anoa'i and Malik Blade taking on Gallus, the Gallus boys, damn it. The Gallus boys. But we do see Dana Brooke in the trainers room last week, and a new talent comes up to her, man. Who actually gives a fuck? Who cares? But as for this tag team, of course, we knew Gallus was going to win this, right? We knew Gallus was going to win this match. It's just the way the cookie crumbles at the end of the day. They're not going to lose to two jobbers. I feel like this Gallus title reign has went on and probably exceeded what it really needed to be. But at the same time, it's weird. Like, very patriotic, but more or less every Scottish person in wrestling are fucking shite. Like, Piper was alright. I think he's massively overrated. Drew McIntyre's probably the best we've ever had. I think he is both. Is he better than Piper? See, people probably laugh at you for saying McIntyre's better than Piper, but I don't know. I think Piper was just a fat, flabby, drug addict mess, to be honest. But you know what? That's me buddy in my... Say that, man. He's from fucking Canada. He's a fucking jobber. He's no very close, got big man. Like Gallus. We come back from the break. We've got Mackenzie Mitchell. She's talking with Metaphor. She keeps asking Noam Dar here with the NXT Cup. He's like, oh yeah, Mackenzie, it's alright. It is alright. They're going to send a warning to the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Yeah, so Dar also tells Mackenzie, you suck. You're not very good, Mackenzie. You suck. We go to the ring. The Schism are out there, and yeah, I just did not care. I did not care for the Schism. I did not care. I mean, let's be real. If you want to put Ava over, right, you team up with her daddy. And for you that don't know who her daddy is, I'm not talking about her sugar daddy. I'm not talking about who she calls daddy in bed. I'm talking about Dwayne The Rock Johnson. That's who I'm talking about, alright? Fucking get Dwayne back. If you want to put this chick over, you give her dad. Her pappy. That's what you want. His dad did a tag team match with him. Why can't The Rock do it with his daughter? I can guarantee you one thing. The Rock would get his daughter way more over than his dad got him over. Die, Rocky, die. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen in 2023. So, the Diaz Bond here looks like it's just not happening. So, I don't know. This just went on and on and on and on until Diamond Mine interrupted. Julius Creed and come out Brutus Creed and that other woman. No one, I even know it's quite ugly. Like, isn't she? Like, to be honest, call a spade a spade. So it looks like we're going to get a Creeds versus the Diad match next week. Loser leaves NXT. Creed brothers accept the challenge. I think the Creed brothers are going to go. I feel like the Diad are going to drag them out more on NXT. I feel like you've already got the Judgment Day as like a gothic group. Do we really need the other ones? Not really. We then get like a hype package backstage. Oh, we did not come to NXT to play games, amigo. Who cares, man? Then we got like Scripps and XM talking backstage about the Heritage Cup. And then Nathan Fraser walks past and it's like, yeah, I scored an overhead kick, mate. Fuck off. What's this all about? We then come back from the break. We get Carmelo Hayes warming up with Trick Williams. And then who interrupts him? Rhea Ripley. She's like, don't get involved in the Judgment Day's business again, or I'm going to shove my big strap on up your arse, tricky boy. And she didn't actually, I don't know why I'm putting on a Scottish accent, but yeah, I don't know what this was all about for Rhea Ripley. I just hate Rhea Ripley in the Judgment. I don't mind Dominic, right? I don't mind Dominic and Priest, but the ones they push to the fucking moon are Balor and Ripley, and I just don't like it. I don't like it very lot, man. We then have an NXT Heritage Cup match. Dragon Lee taking on Nathan Fraser. Nathan Fraser's just better when he's doing like his wee news report program. Let's be real. I think that's just the reality of it. But he wins this match. We then have, after the match, we get a quick promo for NXT Underground next week. Of course, we had Raw Underground. We're getting Eddie Fork versus Damien Camp. So this is going to be quite interesting. I don't understand why this got such a bad rep. It was like the closest thing we got to the fucking Brawl for All, and you know what, bring it back on Raw. Like, Raw was weird during that time, man. COVID, and you'd fucking Shane McMahon and a bunch of like strippers on this like fucking shady ass building. I don't know what was going on, honestly, but you know what, fucking geese it every day of the week. We have Mr. Stone. He's walking backstage. He's looking for Von Wagner. Von Wagner's like, you just don't get it, man. You don't get it. He said, I can't do this. Well, what the fuck's this all about, man? Right, we understand you're deceased when you were a kid. You had to get your scalp removed, and that's why you've got a big, massive forehead, mate. But come on, what's this all about, man? Wesley is in talking to Miles Bourne backstage. Mustafa Ali walks in, and Bourne like, no, man. So Bate then offers to be the special referee. So who knows? Are we going to get Ali against Wesley? Are we going to get Wesley against Bate in a rematch? Or are we going to get a big triple threat, man? Who knows? Who knows? But then we have Kiana James versus Gigi Dolan. It's an alright match. You know, it's an alright woman to look at. It's an alright match, man. It's an alright match. It's funny, like, Gigi Dolan's about 4 foot taller than fucking Darby Allin. Probably shoves a skateboard right up his arse. Anyway, moving on. Now, this is when we get one of the better scenes of the episode. We get Tony D. He's about to be visited here by Stacks, but guess what? It's no Stacks. It's Joe Coffey. And he's like, how the hell did you get on my visitation list? He's like, let's just say, Tony D, I know people. Alright, big man. I know how to get into visitations in prisons, in jail. Capiche? He's like, you're a wee pal Stacks, big man. He's not all he says he is. Listen to this, chief. Tony D listens to it. We hear on the tape that he's like, Stacks like, there's not going to be no more on the bus. And in between, you've got like Joe Coffey go, no, man, no, didn't get to me, Stacks. And obviously, looks like Stacks, looks like there's a new dawn on the streets. Is it going to be Stacks or is it going to be someone big? So, yeah, Tony D shafted it, which is not good. Not good at all. We're going to get a promo package for how Blair Davenport is going to be taking on Roxanne Perez next week. We then see Jessie Jane backstage ranting about Leia Valkyrie to a bunch of jobbers. Rhea Ripley walks up and taunts everybody. What was the purpose of Rhea Ripley being on this show? Like, honestly, there's no point. I've no idea why. Ava and the Diaz are backstage now, and it looks like they're going to sort Joe Gacy out, man. It's like, what the hell's up with Joe Gacy booking us in the Loser Leads NXT match? I mean, but who is the authority figure? Like, why can't Shawn Michaels just be announced as the NXT general manager, but like we don't have to see him every week? To me, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, they just book these matches on the fly. I would not be better if Vic Joseph and Booker T was like, yes, our general manager, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, made this match official. But no, we don't get that. We just get, here, this match is literally just came out of fucking thin air, but you guys are going to have to sit there and take it. Sort of our deal. Anyway, then it is time, guys, for our main event of the evening. We've got Baron Corbin against Carmelo Hayes. Baron Corbin returned to the Lone Wolf character here. I don't mind Corbin. There's times where I think he's fucking awful and just release him, and then there's times like I guess recent runs been alright. But like, what are they doing here? Because Carmelo Hayes wins. Corbin just doesn't look like. What we doing? He's just lost clean by Carmelo Hayes. I just do not understand what is going on. We then cut backstage to Braun Breaker, and he's yelling inside the office of Shawn Michaels. You were talking about Shawn Michaels, so there you go. And then Braun tells the cameraman to shut up and says everyone will find out next week. So who knows what's going to happen next week? I don't know. I think it's just time, guys, that they called up Braun Breaker. I genuinely think that. I don't understand why we're not calling up Braun Breaker. It seems like we're just going around in circles at this point. But anyway, that is where I'm going to leave you for this review. You know what? A decent NXT. I'm going to give us a 4 out of 10. I enjoyed it. There's worse things to watch in wrestling these days in NXT. At least there aren't any forced political agendas rammed down our fucking throats. It's just a wee bit entertaining with a wee bit of jobber-filled matches in between. But anyway, guys, till next time, peace.